And so when we see just like the Western conception of providing for somebody, right? Going to work, you wear a suit, da 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 da. Now, when you look at this in the Western society, unlike, say, the Zulu tribe, which again, as far as anyone knows, at least at face value, seems to be a pagan tribe. But we're going to use them as an example anyway. In the Zulu culture, their chieftain is a warrior. In Western culture, the president, the king, they're like never warriors. King George wasn't. Even King Richard the Lionhearted wasn't. He wasn't really lionhearted. George Washington wasn't. Okay, Abraham Lincoln, Adams, Roosevelt, Clinton, Bush, you name it. They're never warriors. Elon Musk is not a warrior. Bezos, Gates, the Mars family, the Sachs, the Sacklers, and so on and so forth. Rothschilds, Rockefellers, these aren't warriors. Western culture is not a culture with a moral warrior order. So we can immediately say God's order is not Western. And to pretend that it is to insult God. Is someone in a suit that like sexually harasses their staff a warrior? No. Some kind of perverted child and is a Freemason or something. And these are the facts here. You can be offended. Don't be offended. I don't care. Especially after they try to coerce me, after they try to put me in bad situations and try to use money to try to get me to do what they say. After that, I'm like, I don't care what people think. Like, that's ridiculous. The government owes me countless millions. The whole world owes me the whole world, really. And they're going to try to use money to tell me what to do. They can go to hell. That much worse. I'm sure we can all agree that's fair. Who couldn't agree with that? Even the lowest form of life on this planet could agree with that. I mean, who couldn't agree with that? Straightforward. So, when we look at these words, right, the word martial arts, let's look at that now. Okay, now that we've determined that the word warrior has been corrupted by the West's propaganda, their thinking, their culture, it makes you think of Genghis Khan, Conan the Barbarian, Attila the Hun, makes you think of Captain Caveman. They've played that word right out to the point where I'm not comfortable using that to describe God. However, when I explain it, I have to explain it well. Then I use that scripture, Exodus 15:3, where they use the word warrior. Another version says man of war, and both of them confuse it because we think of video games or something, right? Or some kind of TV show. The God of War, what have you, or some video game with the war, Warcraft and World of Warcraft, and this kind of just very much corrupted. Those are propaganda rapists. We look at the Crusades, a bunch of rapists, mass murderers, bloodthirsty devils fighting against each other. That's the truth, and the truth will set you free. Or you can choose not to grow up and be a slave to sin and be the devil's punk on a leash, like the tarot card, the devil on the tarot card, right? Quite often there's one with there's two people on a leash, one male, one female. And they're naked, symbolizing, the sexual immorality, what have you, the Garden of Eden, the paths, the ways, the thinking, the state of being. Perversion. They pervert the course of justice. So when we look at the word martial arts, again, the West defines it in terms of the semantics, the etymology, the roots of the word, the root terms. It comes from the word Mars, which was the Roman deity of war, whose Greek counterpart is Ares. And the word Mars is ram scramble, which goes back to the gender-neutral Baphomet, separating the sheep from the goats. The idea of a ram is very similar to the idea of a goat. And the word goat is toga scrambled, go at, okay, and too gay, and so on and so forth. There's all kinds of funny business there. It's the reason why Crowley was way up there in the Western caste system, and they accepted him on a high level in Hollywood and so on and so forth. Really a low level, but that's a story for another day. And so we know that martial arts in the true form, when we're trying to refer to something that is pure and sacred, is not it's not the arts of Mars. And so it is with the Bible, right? Just like the West has corrupted the idea of martial arts, they've whitewashed it. There's the wordplay I just showed you, the root term, the etymology of it, the history of it, the language, the specifics of the language. Okay, and so we see the word Ares is R's scrambled. Okay, A-R-E-S. Okay, martial arts, M-A, backwards is A-M-M. In Exodus 3:14, God tells Moses to tell the Israelites, I am who I am. So as we see this thing, we look at it and we say, whoa, that lines up. Just like Zeus being Jupiter's counterpart, and there's the various forms of Set, who is also Zeus and Jupiter's counterpart. So is Baal, the main enemy of God in the Bible.